मिस संजना तनेजा, बहुत बहुत बधाई आपको। रिसेंटली आपका वीजा इंटरव्यू गोइंग टू द येल हैज बीन अप्रूव्ड।
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
यस, थोड़ा बताइए एक बार अपने बैकग्राउंड के बारे में, मे बी 1 मिनट, देन हाउ दिस वीजा प्रोसेस अनफोल्ड किया आपने, क्या क्वेश्चन रहे, एंड टेल अस अबाउट इट।
I have done my undergrad and my master's from University of Delhi. I come from a small city of Panipat in Haryana, and we connected a few months ago.
यस,
So I was taking your mentorship for I think this last September, and then we prepared the applications for a number of universities, and I got accepted to Yale.
many congrats.
So thank you so much. Yeah. So after being accepted, the next step was to look for visa appointments, which was crucial step. And I should say that it's kind of difficult to book an appointment, but one has to have patience. They will definitely be able to book a slot, but this kind of process is
It's all about
time
having
consuming.
patience.
Yes, it is. So there were times when you would get notifications that slots are open, and when you get to the website, they would already be booked. So you have to have patience. There would
True,
be like enough number of slots for you to book.
true.
So yeah, so I was able to book my appointments in July, which is the 3rd and 7th of July.
Okay.
3rd for the biometric and 7th for the visa interview. And I recently went ahead for both of my appointments and cleared my visa interview.
Very nice.
So, yes, sir.
Tell
So
me,
should I go ahead?
like in biometric, what documents were required through the process? The same with visa
Okay,
appointment
so
date.
yeah, so my biometric was on 3rd July, and my appointment was scheduled at 11 a.m.
Okay.
and I reached there
Where,
by 9.
and where
I
was
had
it?
some time. So it was at the Visa Application Center in Delhi at Shivaji Stadium Metro Station. So the center is in the metro station itself. Once you exit on the Shivaji Stadium Metro Station, it's right in front of the exit gate. It's very it's convenient to go there. There's no
Okay.
hassle in terms of traveling.
Mhm.
So I was there at around 9, and I asked the security official there if I could enter the center, and they told me that I could enter the center at max half an hour before my appointment time. So I waited till
So, did
10:30.
you travel from Panipat itself, or you were in
Yes.
Delhi the same day?
So since travel from Panipat to Delhi is like a long journey, so I traveled in the morning. I left at 6 a.m. and I was at the visa application center at 9. So that includes getting off the bus, taking the metro, and changing the metro line from the yellow line to the airport line.
Okay.
So, including everything, I was there at 9.
Well, I think you have been in Delhi for many years, so very
Yes, sir.
convenient for you, probably.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So for a person like me, like I have always been going to colleges on Monday mornings for an 8 a.m. class. So I had that experience of traveling early in the morning. Yes, but I would not like prefer someone to go same day. If one could go a day in advance, then they should definitely go a day in advance.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was there at 9, and I was only allowed to enter at around 10:30.
Okay.
At which point they asked for my passport, my visa appointment confirmation, and my DS-160.
Only 3 documents.
Yes, sir. Only these 3 documents, and all they did was verify my name, my appointment date, and time to check if all these credentials are correct. So they kind of tick marked these credentials on my form.
Okay.
And then I was allowed to enter the center. So there was a queue in the center, which wasn't a long queue, like 4 or 5 people ahead of me.
Okay.
And it was their turn, they were being called to a separate counter.
Okay.
So when it was my turn, I was called to counter number 3.
Okay.
So where I went, like exchanged greetings with the officer there, and then I sat down there, and they asked for my name and my date of birth.
Okay.
And there was this pamphlet in front of us on the seat, which had it was kind of like a consent form,
Okay.
like which was saying that every information that we have provided in our form for visa is true to the best of our knowledge. So we had to read that, and we had to be careful about that. We did not lie about anything there.
Very true.
And then they asked for my fingerprints, left hand, right hand, thumb fingerprints, and then a photo, and that was all for the day. And then the officer said that you should be on time for your interview.
Mhm.
And once your interview is done, you will collect your passport from here, from
Mhm.
the visa application. There's a passport collection counter
Mhm.
above, like on the upper floor, the visa application center on Shivaji Stadium metro
Mhm.
station. So that was all for the day of my biometric appointment. And then a few days after, on 7 July, I had my visa interview appointment, and it was in the US Embassy in Chanakya, in Delhi. So
Mhm.
again, I left at 6 from my home and reached there by 9.
Okay.
And again, it's a very convenient traveling thing, because you don't have to you know, like manage a lot of things. It's a straight route from metro station, low Kalyan Marg, if
Okay.
somebody's coming from Kalyan. And then an auto or an Uber you can do. That's very convenient. It's like a 5-minute distance from the metro to the US Embassy.
Okay. Okay.
So once I was there, I was again there by 9, and my appointment was scheduled at 11.
Okay.
So, but this time they allowed me in at around 9:30.
Mhm.
Since there was a long queue and a lot of people were waiting, I think that's the best way to manage, to just allow a few people. They
Okay.
were announcing like people with appointment at time at 10:30 should enter now, and like after 5 minutes, people with appointment at 11 should enter.
Mhm.
And so I went ahead, stand in the queue, and the queue was moving. And first like gave our passport to get that verified,
Mhm.
and then we were allowed to enter like the center, the embassy itself.
Okay. Area.
There we like had a physical check-in for our clothes if we don't have any electronics or digital watch or cameras and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we are not allowed anything, no food and nothing, sort of like a digital device.
Mhm.
And then again, we were sent to a waiting area. So I
Okay.
waited there for like half an hour, I'd say.
Before you entered to the embassy, what documents and they look into?
So like before entering, so on the biometric day,
Not
they had
okay.
pasted the
Okay.
they had pasted a slip on the back of my passport.
Okay.
And that slip had all the information about a candidate, an applicant,
All right.
including the DS-160 confirmation, like applicant number, and
Mhm.
my visa fees number, and
Mhm.
my appointment dates and times, and like everything about me. Like it's an F1 visa, first time applicant, regular visa, everything was written on that slip. It was a
Okay.
very small slip, but it was very informative.
Okay.
So the day of my visa interview appointment, the security guard outside the embassy just checked that slip on the back of my passport.
Oh, so they have some like scanner or what?
No, just looked into the slip, saw the time of my appointment and date of my appointment, and I was able to go in. And then next, there was a passport check, a proper check, where they scanned the barcode behind my passport on that slip. So there was a first, like just looking at the time, and then the second was to scan the barcode of that slip.
All right. So I
And
have
then
just one question here. Do they require? Do they see that visa interview fee receipt or something, original or something?
so not the visa interview fees. So I was not asked to show the visa interview fees anywhere. I was just asked to show the savvy fees
Service.
receipt,
It's
which was inside the embassy.
it is. I mean, you can book appointment only after submission of fee anyways. So it's
Yes,
indirect proof.
yes, sir.
Please
Yes,
continue.
sir. But yeah, I still kept the document just in case, but there nobody asked for it. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
So so I was in the waiting area. At around, I guess, 10 o'clock, I was allowed to enter further inside, and
Okay.
it was like the main area where counters were there, where visa officers were there interviewing students ahead of me in the queue.
Mhm.
So the first thing they did was for different visa categories, they asked for different documents. And for F1, they asked for I-20, passport, and savings.
Yes.
So we had to keep these documents in our hand, ready
Mhm.
to
Yes.
go to a counter and get them verified.
Okay.
So this was the first step. Once they are verified, we were shifted to the next counter where they scanned our passport again and our fingerprints.
Okay.
And then we were moved to the next set of counters, which were the visa officers and the counters for interview. So that was a long queue, and I
Mhm.
had to wait for like half an hour.
Okay.
But fortunately, my appointment was scheduled at 11, and I was
Well,
at
ahead
a
of
visa
time.
interview officer counter at 11. So
Yeah.
it was right on time.
Yes.
And uh, so when I was in the visa interview line, I was asked to go for the interview, and I was in front of the officer. I greeted her, and my visa interview actually lasted very short. Was just a set of like 2 or 3 questions. The first one was, okay, you're going for a PhD. It was not even a question; it was just a statement. And
Mhm.
then she saw Yale written on my I-20. So she asked for my I-20 and passport first,
Okay.
saw that I was going for a PhD. And then she saw Yale written on it and she said, this is fantastic. You're going to a great university. And then she asked me, what kind of research are you going to pursue there in your physics PhD? So I told her about my interest in biological physics. And she said, go ahead and explain something
Okay.
about your research. So I went ahead and explained my research in 2 or 3 lines. And then she said that it's a PhD program, then it must be fully funded. And I said, yes, it is fully funded. And that was it. She said, okay, your visa is approved. You can
Wow.
go. So, and she took
Bingo.
your passport. Yes, sir.
So how did you feel?
So,
Like,
this is
what
it.
were your emotions that time?
So I was like happy beyond words. I wasn't even walking. I was practically jumping on my way out.
हो
I was
गया
so
इतनी
happy.
मेहनत की अब it's all
Sir.
set all done.
Yes, sir. I mean, one is always nervous, but there's nothing to nervous
Yes.
about because it's just a visa. If you're accepted by university, they're
Mhm.
just going to verify if you are a true student. That's all.
Yes.
There's nothing to worry about. It's not like a rigorous interview that one thinks it is.
True. Nice. Very
Yes, sir.
nice. So you came out of
And then
embassy
yes, sir.
then.
So my mom was outside. She was
अच्छा.
waiting, and she was worried because she's seeing a number of people who were upset when
Mhm.
they came out.
Yes. Yes.
So she was, she was worried, and when she saw me smiling from across the different part of the road, and she said, "Yeah, so you're done." So you were happy, right? Yeah,
बहुत बहुत
that was
बधाई.
it.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
तो अब नेक्स्ट प्रोसेस आपने फ्लाइट वगैरह बुक हो गई?
yes, sir. I actually booked it before my visa interview because I'm very close to the start date of my program.
कब आपको जाना है?
So my program starts at on 1st of August, and I booked my flight for 28th July.
Not many days left. Now how about रहने
Yes,
वहने का सारा इंतजाम हो गया?
yes, sir. So I booked an apartment, a room in an apartment earlier in June.
Okay.
That was something I was able to do through Facebook. There are Facebook pages you can
Mhm.
join, and they have this information on the housing available.
Okay.
And you can always contact landlords on the Facebook, and then you can get to sign a lease.
अब तो आपकी जो पिक्चर है और इंफॉर्मेशन इज ऑन Yale website
Yes,
पे
sir.
भी है, तो I think must be feeling
Yes, sir.
more, I think, proud to yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, proud and also excited, and also a little bit scared of the unknown because it's a big university and like it's going to be fun, but it's going to be a little challenging coming
Yeah,
from a background in India. So I hope I'm prepared for that, and I'm ready to work hard.
sure.
So let's see what
And
happens.
it's not very far from Boston. So you and Smriti can also meet time to
Yes, sir.
time, I would say.
Yes, sir, sure. So my only friend in US is close by to me, so that's a great thing for me.
Yes, yes. That helps a lot in many ways.
Yes.
बहुत बहुत बधाइयाँ. कुछ कहना चाहेंगी? Final few words. Any message?
Um, so like my final words would just be to people who are like who would be watching this and thinking if they should apply for a university in abroad. I would say definitely do that because it's going to be a life-changing experience, not just living there, but also the part where you apply because you learn a lot.
Oh, yes.
So getting an admission is the second thing, but the first thing that you learn along the journey is something really important. I think it was important for me. I learned a lot just by applying to different universities. So this is something I think.
And how about our this mentorship effort throughout this process?
Yes, sir. So, this is one thing that I can say I would not be here if not for this mentorship. I wasn't even thinking I could apply given my research experience. I didn't even know like I could apply to a university in the US, in the
Mhm.
United States, and get an admission from there.
Yes,
So
yes.
all of this was possible because of this mentorship. I mean, this mentorship program has made my dreams come true. So this is this is
Thank
something unreal for me, and I will
thank
always
you.
be grateful.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
And
Very
the best
nice.
parts are here is, like you, one is not getting prepared materials from you. They're getting guidance on how you do things
Yes, yes.
in general. So this is something important.
This is what
This is something
mentorship is all
that
about.
makes, yes, sir. This is something that makes your mentorship platform different from all the others out.
Very nice. All the best, Sanjana. Okay, we'll connect with you
Thank you, sir.
before you leave. Start enjoying the process and whatever you're doing, shopping and
Yes,
so many other things. You're gonna be busy
yes, sir.
anyways. All right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wish you
sir.
all the best and
Okay.
take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, sir.